Hello and welcome to this course from Pluralsight. My name is Andrew Mallard and I'm here to welcome you to the Linux Managing DNS Servers. This is all ready for your LPIC 2 qualification. When we're looking at the LPIC 2, you're going to need a few things in place. So you already need to have your LPIC level 1. So we cover the first exam for that 101-400 in the exam review for the CompTIA Linux Plus and LPIC Level 1 course. And similarly for the second exam 102-400, then that's covered in the 104 and 102 course that we already have up and running on Pluralsight. Like the LPIC Level 1 certification, LPIC Level 2 has 2 exams. For the exam 117-201, this is already covered and up and available on Pluralsight. So there's the Linux monitoring and maintenance, the Linux kernel and system startup, and the Linux advanced file system management. And these 3 courses cover the complete objectives for the 201 exam. We're now making a start on the second exam 202. And we'll look in more detail at what we're going to cover within this exam. So the LPIC Level 2 is your Linux Network Professional certification. And for the second exam, we've got 6 objectives. So in this course, we're going to look at Objective 207 DNS servers. Then we'll have 208 looking at web servers and services. 209 looks at file servers. Objective 210 looks at client access, and Objective 211 takes a look at email services, and Objective 212 takes a look at security in Linux. So these 6 objectives go together to make exam 117-202. And again, we'll make sure that we've got the complete coverage for the 202 exam as well as the 201 exam for you on Pluralsight. Specifically for this course, looking at DNS, well, you can probably guess we're going to be looking at domain name services. But specifically, we'll go through and look at setting up a caching only bind or Barclay Internet Name Daemon server. We'll be taking a look at DNS mask and how that is used. We'll be looking at some of the client tools, so some of the things that we'll be used to, maybe like the host command, maybe like the dig command, but we'll also look at how we can create our own client tools by programming a little bit within Perl and Python. We'll be looking at creating our own hosted zones, some of the troubleshooting tools that we might use within Bind, so it's more related to the Bind server itself and the details that we can get back about the zones that we host. We'll be looking at configuring slave servers, so looking at zone transfers. We'll be looking at DNSSEC when we look at DNS security. And we'll finish up by looking at another DNS server, so PowerDNS, and using a MySQL or MariaDB as a back-end database to that. During the course, we'll carry out demonstrations and we'll be using CentOS 7 and Ubuntu 14.04, the current LTS version. In this way, we can see how we can work across different distributions but still be managing DNS servers and seeing how they can even interact with each other. So we'll be having a master zone running on our Ubuntu system, and we're going to look at how we can then replicate that or use our zone transfer to have a slave server running on a CentOS system. But for yourself, if you don't have multiple distributions or you don't want to get involved in multiple distributions, just use the one that suits you best. So DNS, when did it all begin? I think we all probably know a little bit about what DNS is, but when we go back into its history, go back to June 1983. I'm guessing some of you weren't even born in June 1983. There were up to 70 sites connected to the Computer Science Network. This is really then the network that joined some government and university and science establishments together so they could share data. It's really what was following on from the original ARPANET. So host files, just managing all of our host names in host files and pushing them out to have them replicated across these 70 sites, well, it was no longer really going to be sufficient. So in November 1983, we saw the publication of RFC 882 and the birth of DNS. In October 1984, we saw the 7 top-level domains, so like the .com, the .org, that we've become used to being created. So in a nutshell, that's how we moved from our host files to DNS systems. Now what we're going to take a look at now is seeing how quickly we can get a DNS server up and running.